Hello, I'm Manuel.
And Manuel.
Today we are reading in between the lines of our remix for Modeselektor featuring Flohio, Social Distancing. We will show you the project and make a little walkthrough. Hope you enjoy it.
The project is structured quite simply, but it had 112 tracks in total, but while many of them are only active for special moments and not every time.
So yeah, as many of you, we work in groups. The whole project has various groups that are grouping important parts together. Here, for example, we have the main group.
The main group is the beat. In the group we have a kick, rhythm, extra hit, shaker and off shaker, and so some noises and other effects. And also we have in the end of the project with the other color, white, other effects, also drums, some drums for special moments.
So we can now come to the kick drum. It's made of 3 layers. There was a lot of work behind making that kick drum. Not this one especially, but we designed like over hundreds of kick drums for this track.
So the kick had 3 layers.
So the main layer of the kick drum is entirely made in the Eurorack system. We used the Eurorack oscillator from Mutable Instruments, Plaits. But instead of the internal pitch envelope, we used make noise maths, and that we sent it through the stereo depot, where we had like 2 gain possibilities, and also after this we sent it to another filter, then to a VCA, and then from the Eurorack into the auto boom. And yeah, this is the recording of it, but also with some processing on it, which is the saturator from Ableton and the amp, the glue compressor, and the Renaissance limiter. And here we have the transient, which is a bit acute. And here's some nice tricks you can do with the internal oscillator of the sampler from Ableton, which is here doing big changes, and also the drive and the internal shaper from the sampler, which is nice because it is pre-envelope, and they really give some punch and crispiness to the sound. And here's like a very quiet verb sound that is under the kick drum. Yeah.
Now we show you the main pads and how we build the pads. We take the original main melody from the track and repeat in the for Morphogen in one special program, Reaper, but you can also do it in Ableton too. And so we create some new parts from the Hauptmelodie, build some delay on it, and also use beats and data bender to build some moments in the end. You have heard the vocal also, and we have used the same process for the vocal.
Yeah, so the vocal is then in total 14 tracks. One of these tracks is like the main track, where we have like the full vocal as it was in the original track, with some exceptions and little cuts. And then we have again many little snippets and like cuts of the sessions we did with the Eurorack system, with the Morphogen and the data bender and the internal FX of the Eurorack system. We have here the Happy Nerding FX8, and also had used the Echophone at these times from Make Noise also. Yeah, that's it. One special moment, for example, with this is, I would say, the break, where you really have like the vocal, which is like more speech language, really starts to sing in a way.
For everything that everyone
It was data bender with a filter from Happy Melody. Or for example, outro 2.
Yeah, in the outro, like parts like. In the outro, we also used some of the parts where we played around with the morphogene. Yeah, you can do many funny things with vocals if you put them in samplers and twist the knobs around, and yeah, many funny moments can happen. You can make someone laugh or sing who didn't do this before.
Maybe a little bit about the BPM. We have 274.
So we worked in double time, which is yeah, a bit more fun because you have a more narrow grid and you can go more in the tiniest pieces.
That's why we have 122 layers.
Which is now costing us a lot of CPU usage. The next part I would like to show is the part right after the break, where we have a special moment,
press that.
Which is here in an extra group.
Babe, give me that adrenaline.
And here we will now play it for you. First in the context and then single.
Give me that. Think I got blood in my red wine, and I got a rod in my right hand. Nah. Press that. And I got 1 line, 9 lives. Babe, give me that adrenaline. Think I got blood in my red wine. Ooh, inside, hit the lights, do it right. Skin dark, melon nice, orange rice, hold my heart, play yours out. Mommy's proud, read my palms. In the south, bros outside, pushing bikes, rubber bands.
Last moment.
Okay.
It was so important for me to have this part in the track because sometimes Johannes said, oh, maybe it's too pompous or too romantic, yeah, too romantic. But for me, it was really important to maybe to have possibility later to listen it in the club, this romantic part.
So here we have the group after break, which is the part right after the break before the next main part again. And here we have a kick drum that is also made in the modular. This kick drum is
a Dixie from IntelliJ.
Yeah, and we processed it a bit. We have on here an EQ to get out some of the frequencies.
Compressor, amp.
Yeah, compressor, amp, saturation, limiter, and also again a fab filter, EQ, which are for me the best from the GUI wise and also sound wise. And yeah, this is what it sounds like. Also in this group we have some recordings from the morphogene again, which is the pad that you already heard. Here just no processing on it. Another part of this recording with some reverb on it. And here also very important for us, here you can hear some of the drum elements of the original track, pitched, warped, destroyed.
Cutted, and use also this slide from Octatrack to create this nice effect.
Yeah, and for here, for example, we also took the drums of the original track, and from the Octatrack we sent it into this delay, and we have here sounds like this.
Roland Space Echo, really nice delay.
Again, we have various recordings layered above each other, sometimes only singles, and sometimes we have like more of them that are making like a bigger picture together.
So I think you can say this remix is a lot of jams together and put it and cut it, and at the end, if we have all these jams and sessions, we go through it and cut the best moment to create some story in what we want to have at the end. So a couple of words about kick and drum part again, because it's
yeah, it's really important to show this, as not many people show how easy it can be to make like a good effect chain to give your drums more crunchiness and more depth. So for the kick drum, on the main layer of the kick drum, we have the Fab filter Pro Q3, which is very nice because it can react in time to a frequency that you want to take out in this moment where it comes in the most. Here you can see like it's reacting, and it takes out the part of this kick that we don't want here. Here's another one of those. And on the kick groove we have a bit of saturation, a bit of an amp, a glue compressor, but on the whole beat group we have again compression and some multiple compressors in parallel after each other. We can make them out here. And here again we have the multiband dynamics from Ableton. I create my own presets of this, and I can highly recommend to get behind this, because if you work in Ableton, this is a very powerful tool. And yeah,
the name is Hannes Hardcore Modeselektor.
And it's so little in here. It's just 3.5%, but it does very much. And then again,
Fab filter,
EQ, also taking our resonances, but here also at the 200 hertz, we have here a frequency that we take out a bit. So it's rather easy, the whole chain on these, but I think what is very important to work in parallel, to use compressors that have dry wet or used in parallel in some other way. We use multiple stages of it because we have qualities of different compressors that are doing different things. And yeah, and also for the EQing, it's very good to take out things and not to boost things, more like take things that are in the way of other things, especially for the kick drum. A kick drum can hit harder when you take out certain frequencies. So you have other parts of the element that you can hear better than.
So if you have some questions, please let us know, because we really like to discuss about it, about hardware or producing or jamming also, or gear.
Yeah, thanks for reading in between the lines of our track, and bye-bye.